Any government can freeze your USDT, but they can't freeze Bitcoin. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I'm in the Bibe 5x5 here in Dubai. Hope you're doing well. And today is, always an interesting day, even though, we had a little bit of a dump and now it's just recovering. We're going to be talking about that and trading that in the next little while in today's episode. So make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and watch all the way to the end because we're going to go over some good news and bad news and also go teach you some trading at the end of the show. So make sure you watch all the way to the end. Also, if you're interested in trading, you can do so at levex.davincij15.com. This exchange, right, they have like a sort of like a Twitter-like following thing where you could follow me, and only if you use my link will you be able to see this video live, right? You follow me and watch this video live. I'm bringing you a new exchange, right, for people who are in the land of the brave, not so brave, right? And where, they have to pass a law stating that there's only two genders. Well, I'm not sure where that is, right? It sounds like, someplace off world, right? Since, we all know that there are only two genders, but, in that off world planet, right, you could actually sign up without a VPN, without any ID and all that kind of good stuff here. So anyways, I'm heading over to Maldives. So if you want to join me, you can join me and my friends there at Maldives, and we could have a chat and so forth. And, I'll do some giveaways of my meme coins. Okay, this is the news we're going to be covering. All the links for the news should be in the description below. Report over 650 million have been bridged from other chains to Solana in the last week. Okay, so for those who don't know what a bridge is, let's just say you have let's say USDT on Base or on Ethereum or maybe even on Binance Smart Chain. And you're like, man, I have to use that USDT to buy some Trump coin on the decentralized exchange over there. How do I get it over there? Well, you could send that USDT to an exchange, then from that exchange, transfer it down to Solana, right? Say, okay, well, I'm withdrawing it to the Solana blockchain. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is through what's called a bridge. A bridge connects two blockchains together, and through a decentralized means, they send the USDT from the chain that you're on to the chain that you want to go to. So if you're on Ethereum and you want to transfer it to Solana, you can do so. So this includes, look at that. This includes 450 million from the Ethereum to Solana alone. Jesus, man. Solana. If you don't realize that Solana is going to outpace Ethereum and you should be dollar cost averaging into Solana right now, well, you're going to regret it. Speaking of major moves and huge moves, another 10,000 Bitcoin purchased by MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor. Actually, they have now 471,107 Bitcoin. Imagine that, man. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go shopping today. What am I going to buy? $1 billion, $1.1 billion of Bitcoin. You buy 10,000, move for 10,000 just because I feel like it. Wow. Oh, man. Man, he's selling shares to buy Bitcoin. He's doing everything to buy Bitcoin. I mean, he's like the naked man. And honestly, that's what you should be doing. No meme coins, no, altcoins, just Bitcoin. All in there, right? And only USDT for saving for the short term, right? For next year or something like that. Even though, yeah, they can freeze it. Yes. You're like, wait a second. Did you say they could freeze it? Yes, they can. But, right? Let's talk about that, right? Before we go into self-custody. Yeah, they can freeze your USDT, but the odds are, as long as you're not doing anything, any criminal activity, major criminal activity, you don't have to worry about the freezing of your USDT. However, just understand that it's in the case of long term, if they decide what you're doing is criminal, right, in the future, then they can't freeze it, right? So let's just say you're just, I don't know, supporting Trump, and that becomes a crime. It can happen just because you supported Trump in the past, and that becomes a crime. Well, they can take your USDT, right? And if you think, oh, that's never going to happen, just remember, they passed a law stating that there's only two genders because they had to, all right? So don't say it ain't never going to happen, okay? If you were to go back in time and tell people that was going to pass, that was going to happen, right? They'd be like, what? What planet are you on? Yeah. So, yeah, don't take precautions, right? Because, you know, the police force in cahoots with, of course, chain analysis and to help, you know, do what's it called, investigation. They managed to thwart criminals for money laundering, and that's a good thing. Still, it is a good thing, right? Don't get me wrong, but what I think should be the case here is that the governments need to go after the keys and go after the people and stuff like that. And you know, once they, I think, proving that it's their assets, they need to, prove that that their evidence is true, that these people are money laundering for sure. And having it frozen, right, is basically, well, let's just say they're wrong, right? And so that person needs to defend himself, right? I don't know. Maybe they are wrong. And what happens then? And that person lost all that money and is like, oh, I was about to buy a house for my family, and no, I can't do it, right? So it's just like, you have to like weigh the pros and cons of these kind of things, right? So kind of sad. Now, of course, this is a lot of money. Any multimillionaire would not have a problem with a small amount, that much money being frozen. And and then, defend himself heavily in court. Okay. Bitcoin self-custody shields users from institutional risk treasure, also from criminal government risks as well. By holding their own keys, Bitcoiners can hedge against centralization risk while reaping the benefits of Bitcoin adoption. Treasure's Lucien Bourdon said, okay, yes, you know what? As you know, right, storing it in a hardware wallet over, using an ETF or an exchange, which most people might need to do at first, right, is the better way to go because, if your exchange goes under, you'll lose all your money. You'll be waiting like the empty Gox people for 10 years before you actually see anything. I'm still waiting for money from, Cryptopia that went under a long time ago, 40K. And I still haven't seen a single penny or even some tokens from that bankruptcy. So there it is. Protect yourself and ensure that you do not get, screwed by a corporation who goes under or loses all your crypto. Okay, that said, let's go on to do some trading for today. If you're interested in trading, and there you go, you can see that I do post these private streams here, and you could actually watch this privately with me and ask me questions afterwards. Also, you could head over to bybit.davincij15.com. Unfortunately, you will need some ID. Now, according to some people, that they don't accept Palau ID, but I bet you they do. Probably not for large amounts of money. For smaller amounts, right, that's fine. But with larger amounts, they're probably going to want to know where you live and all that kind of stuff. And that's that. So I still need to talk to my BD to find out more information, but I will do that. Okay. Well, this trade, it was over. So you got to you have to take profits on these trades, right? Immediately, right? So it's things like boom, zip, zap, gone. And this trade's over. So now we're looking for the next trade, right? Looking for the liquidity. Let's look for the liquidity here. Should we find another trade here, we will take it. Ooh, a lot of upward liquidity that was showing up. Now it's gone. A little bit high there. And let's just move this over. So you guys can see this. But the down liquidity is building heavy. This is in the 90K area right here. It's covered up by my screen. But this is like 90K down here. This is getting heavy. Like all of these people are like, I'm loading the boat, short, long, 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 long. They're getting long like crazy. And what tends to happen is the price market goes and takes those people out. So not yet, right? You can see there's a liquidity building at the higher level. So they most likely will go and take those out before it goes reverses. It looks like we should reverse probably at the 104, 100,005-ish area. So, but you'd have to wait for the lower time frames to give you some sort of like signal before you jump into the trade. To jump into trade right now is suicide. I mean, you got a little bit of movement up here, so it's not worth the downward movement that could occur any moment. And so you have to wait for the market to give us a signal. Looking at Ethereum, it's the same thing right now. Ethereum looks pretty dismal. Looks like it wants to roll over and die. So, but it's first got to come back up to the $3,200 level, and then we're probably reversing back down. Looking at Solana, Solana hit the target levels, right? I was saying 220. 220 was as low as 215, but we got to 220, and there it is. We reversed heavily. Now, this is not the end for. This is not the blast off for Solana just yet. Looks like we are gearing up for a rollover again, just to retest the lows. If we fail to break down below the 220 level, that means it's going to roll really high and fast and furious, right? So if we just come back down to the 230, it's over. It's kind of heading higher, a lot higher, very, very fast. Okay, that's it for our TA for today. No trades, of course, but can't trade every day. If you did, you will lose money. So you have to sometimes, put your hands in your pocket and just wait for the market to tell you what to trade. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.